Hello and welcome. Today we're going to restore the extremely beat up trim on my e34. It's going to look a million times better afterwards, and I hope you guys will find the result just as good as I did. And the guy that did this also used filler, primer and then just black paint. I tried stripping it with paint stripper and that unfortunately didn't work. That just took off the black color and now I'm left with all this Bondo mess. I don't understand why he did that, because there was just a minor dent right here. Why would you waste so many hours of your life trying to Bondo it and then just spray over it when it still looks okay, and you could have just given it a lick of black paint and it would have looked a million times better. And this is the only piece where this was done. The other two pieces don't have that. That's just a big mystery to me. It doesn't make sense. Whoever did this job before used a self-tapper, drilled it through the door trim, straight through the door. Like, just because of one broken clip. That's a bit ridiculous. And I don't understand why everybody breaks those clips. Just be careful. Just get some screwdrivers, put tape over it, use leverage, be slow, and you're gonna take them all out without breaking a single one. I just don't understand how people rush this and break everything. This one is also in a horrible condition. Despite me uninstalling them correctly, this one snapped and this one as well. These two just because it's old brittle plastic and they have been uninstalled incorrectly in the past, so they were already mangled. Unfortunately, this thing is also not without damage. It's cracked right here a tiny bit, here it's dented in. But just because of these little damages, I'm not going to throw it away. After a nice coat of black paint, it's going to look a million times better. Here, unfortunately, it started detaching, so I'll just use a bit of 2-component glue to give this thing some extra support, and then it's back on the road. Just gonna let this dry, and then it's good. And now we can start with the tedious task of sanding down all the plastic. I'm going to use some fine sandpaper. This is 320 grit, so that I don't change the texture of the actual door trim and bumper trim and whatnot. But after that, it's only going to be paint on there, so we need to scuff it first, because otherwise it just won't stick. First of many pieces is done. After scuffing it up, I'm just going to use brake clean to fully remove all the dust and contamination before paint. Unfortunately, one of the door trims was bubbling a lot, and when I took a closer look at it, it detached the metal part from the plastic part because it was rusting. Weird. And now I've just removed all the rust and used 2-component glue to tape it back into place. And now I hope that this is going to hold up for at least a few more years, because one single piece of the door trim costs 86 bucks, and that's quite expensive, and I don't want to pay that just for a piece of plastic. Just looking at the wet paint, I know it's going to look awesome, except for that one piece where there was filler, because you can see a clear difference. This is just like almost OEM. I also did the number plate holder, the rear and front, so everything is going to look really nice afterwards. After the cleaning, I've just polished this bit by hand so that I can remove all the encrusted minerals and dirt, and now we're finally ready to put back the trim pieces. Looks so much better than before, just from close. From further it's even more noticeable probably. Great, now we have to finish the rest of the paint, and then we can put on the door trim pieces everywhere. I've also decided to repaint the door trim because of that, and then I can focus more on the sanding around the edges and not over the edges. I've also decided to take off the seal from the door handle, and these are super easy to take off. Unfortunately, BMW doesn't sell the seal as a separate unit. They just sell it with the actual cover itself, and it costs around 60 bucks, so it's really expensive. I ordered the seals in China. To take it out, you just have to open the grommet right here and then push a thing inside, and then it just detaches and you can just pull it out. It's really, really easy. And to reinstall it, you just get it back in, put it into place correctly, and then you just have to pull the lever back out. As you can see, these are in a terrible condition. They're just crumbling away. Crazy. I've also repainted the door handle trim, and now we're gonna use some Chinese rubber gaskets to put them back in place. Now that everything is back on the car, it looks really nice. Repainted door handles and door handle seals and covers. The door trim has been repainted. Bumper trim has been repainted. Indicator trim has been repainted. It looks really, really nice, especially with the completely detailed paint. With the paint correction, it looks really good. And if we now imagine that there's no rust, it would look insanely good. This is now most of the project sorted. I can't wait to buy my next one. And we just have to do some tiny things here and there. If I end up keeping it, I'll probably replace all the trim clips front and back and exchange the broken bumper trim pieces. But that's for the future, I guess. I'll also do the rust because it's just a real eyesore. And yeah, I'll put it up for sale, and then we'll see what the future brings. Maybe I'll keep it, maybe I won't. We're just gonna see. I used the same trim restoration method on my old e34, it's now my brother's, and as you can see, the trim is still completely black, just a bit of sanding action, and then a fresh lick of black paint, and it looks like that after 3 to 4 years. Incredible, isn't it? In my opinion, that's literally the best way to restore trim. Just because how time effective and cost effective it is. For my whole car, it took me 2 cans of black, well actually just one because I used the other one for other trims and other stuff, so it really cost like pretty much nothing, a bit of elbow grease, and the result is definitely worth it. By that, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next one.